The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the night, the Sunday night edition on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. And Heidi, girl, Kevin, so good to see you again tonight. Oh, man, what a day. What a day. It rained like hell. But you know what? I saw the rain come upon the earth and upon me. I couldn't help but think that the earth got baptized today. You know, all the ugliness that is going on in the world today, okay, got washed away into the ground, to where Mother Earth is, and hopefully she did something for it, you know what I mean? But it rained like hell. But it was a calming rain. And I just felt, am I frozen now, guys? Audio's going, am I frozen? Yoo-hoo, am I frozen? Okay, at least the audio, oh, I'm back. That's good. Thank you. I don't know. It's kind of weird, you know. But I was in a good mood. Things that have happened lately, and thank you for the compliment, honey. You're good. I know I'm good. That's a joke. Haha. No, I'm joking with y'all. But tonight's show is going to be an interesting one. Okay, as you can tell on the top there, right above my head, it says tonight will be an open mic tonight. Okay, and I want you in the chat rooms out there in the 160 different countries out there to voice what is bugging you, so we can grab by the gonads and try to deal with it. Hey, Cindy Simpson. But you know, we need to let it go. You know, I can feel a lot of people just holding on to stuff that they need to be released. And tonight's a good night to release it. It poured like hell today. The rain cleansed the negativity. Oh boy, I'm getting all kinds of stuff. So if you hear my ding and I forgot to take the sound off my phone, that's okay. But tonight's a good night to let it loose. What is going on in everybody's world that it's the kind of hard that have a hard time dealing with what they're dealing with? I'm no Dr. Phil. I am no Dr. Sean. I'm even not Lucy. The charge is $25, 25 cents, or a nickel. I forget what it was. Kevin says an overcast morning, then it switched to sun, then back to overcast. Supposed to rain tonight. Well, I'm telling you what, I believe that, the big guy, it is a blessing, Kevin. It really is. Because it just, I don't know, Kevin. I don't know if like Cindy, Heidi, that girl, and everybody else listening tonight. But it feels like the rain actually is healing. Okay. I think, in fact, I know, okay, that when it rains hard. And that I feel better. 103, the car says outside temp 108 today, hot and melt. Eee. Kevin says washes away all the stupidity too. Of course it does. Cindy says the rain is healing for me too, for her. You have to grasp, everybody. We're not made out of sugar. We're not going to melt. So just stand out in the rain and let it wash all the ugliness off of you, all the hatred off of you, all the negativity. Let it wash away. Let the ground handle it. Joni, good to see you, hon. Eddie says, love the rain and miss those Kansas-style thunderstorms. Well, I bet there's a lot of ghosts out there when they have them thunderstorms out there in Kansas. But the rain is good. I felt healed today. I felt healed. I mean, I was working, of course. No one came shopping. But what I liked when the rain stopped, people came into the store to do their shopping. And there was a skip in their steps today. Hey, Karen, good to see you, hon. Heidi says, I never thought of that when I lived there, but yes. But everybody had a skip in their walk today. Everybody's smiling. It was weird. It's been a long time since I've seen that. A long, long time. Hell, I was in such a happy mood today. I wore a yellow shirt. I walk into work and everyone says, oh, you're wearing the yellow shirt because you're a happy camper today. I said, damn right I am. Well, it's all dark and gloomy out and it's raining. I said, well, not today. Not today for me. They all looked at me like I was weird and shit, Happy here. Good to see you, buddy. Kevin says I work too. Was crazy with the holiday tomorrow and everything will be closed. Thank you, Javier. I appreciate that. But I was happy today. And that is a first. And, I do believe that, my prayers were answered for today. Maybe in my area, maybe in not all the other areas. But today in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Kevin says he loves combating the weather with a bright color. Thank you, Javier. He loves the video. Thank you. But my prayers were answered in my area alone. It felt like a ray of sunshine. Just, people would come into work. Hey, Randy, good to see you, buddy. People would walk through the doors at work, go shopping, and it was like they'd been zapped with happy energy. And I was like, yeah. And it was just a great feeling. But yeah, that's what the rain did today. Plus, my truck got washed. Oh, excuse me. I'm from Pittsburgh. My truck got washed. You don't forget about that. Washed. And I don't know, and I hope it continues. It's supposed to freaking rain all day, all night tonight too. The only bad thing I could actually say what rain does is that it causes flooding. And then if you look at it the way I look at it sometimes, with no one getting hurt, but streets get flooded, everything. Oh, Worst. Kevin, Worst. Worsh, buddy. That's how you pronounce it. Spell it. Worsh. That's only here in Pittsburgh. But since you're friends of mine from Canada, you can say however you want. Thank you. Thank you, Javier. I hope I'm saying that right. But I don't know. Just my prayers were answered today. And I'm grateful for that. I want to touch back on the Tuesday night show we had, with the paranormal bullying. Okay. It was a nice little round table. And a lot of stuff got, spoken. A lot of my panel did do some, shared their experiences with the bullying. And it's still continuing, But what the sad thing is now, it like moved over into the Bigfoot community. I belong to a couple of Bigfoot, groups. And that's all they were doing because somebody did this, somebody did that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the whole story. But the Bigfoot community are getting attacked from each other. I want to address that a little bit more tonight, at the beginning. And it's not right. It's not right. Get your heads out of your asses and not have an ego. You share something, you share it. And I've seen a lot of people get hurt. Not only in the paranormal community, in the Bigfoot community. And there's a lot of people in the community of Bigfoot. And it's just not right. To make a name for themselves, to steal other people's properties. And you listen to the responses, you read the responses, and you could just feel the negativity coming out of it. You can actually feel the people who are hurt. This full moon's energy is still lingering. Okay, I believe that, Kev. But people are hurt. They don't want to see their community go up in flames. And it's on the verge. Because of some dumbass who has an ego. Yeah, I'll call him a dumbass. And because they want to be, hey, Mish, good to see you, hon. because they want to be the best Bigfoot hunter out there. And they don't care who they step on. It's not just right. Okay? I have a lot of amazing friends who are in the Bigfoot community. Okay? And I have had, and I have seen my friends get tromped on. They got, people saying, "Oh, what you pick up or it isn't a Bigfoot." Not only are you hurting or dissing someone from the Bigfoot community, what you're doing is you're hurting my friends. And that's not good. It really isn't good. Because it makes me look at you like you're an asshole. And that I don't want nothing to do with you. Joni says, your friends from the Bigfoot community, how are they doing? They're doing great, I guess. I haven't spoken to them for a while. Everybody's on the hush hush now because of all the bullshit that's going on in the community. You're not the best Bigfoot hunter out there. You're not. No one is. Everybody's equal. If you want to be a great, if you want to have the notoriety in the Bigfoot community and getting on YouTube, write a freaking book about your experiences. Okay? Write a book. And I say that with the paranormal community too. Because there's a lot of people that want to have their own TV show. Ain't going to happen. Again, you have to write a freaking book. And I don't see too many books out there on the paranormal. I don't. Maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Maybe there are. Maybe there aren't. But when you write the book, don't be such an a-hole. Me, I. Johnny says, we are a nice bunch of people. Invite them on the show. Huh. Which one? Oh, the Bigfoot people? I'd do that. But usually the people who have bad words to say about everybody, they don't want to come on the show. They stay away from the show. And I don't have an ego, but I do call it as I see it. And I do get back. I do. I ask the tough questions. But no one should have to feel like they are entitled. No one should feel less than. Everybody should just be equal. Yes, equal. But the people out there, like I said, get your head out of your asses because it's going to mess you up for the rest of your Bigfoot community hunting experience. And there's a lot in the paranormal field too. I'm not just saying about the Bigfoot, I'm saying about paranormal. And I'm sure I was supposed to, how's that go? Yeah, you're right, Jody. I was supposed to, but nah, never happened. I was going to write a book, but you know what? I'm lazy, Joni, and I admit it. I'm lazy. Didn't want to do it. So I figured, maybe the podcasting will help out. I said to everybody when I retired back in 2022 that I was going to write a book. And I was all excited, pumped up for it. And then No excuse. I just didn't write it. Nobody even didn't. I mean, I was looking for ghostwriters too, you know. But man, do you know how much they are? But Joni, you know, I've been in the business for so long now. Okay, and I'm good at what I do, and I don't go around, preaching from the highest mountains that I'm the best paranormal investigator out there, because I'm not. I don't believe that. I don't care if you had 50 years in the business or you only had 1 week in the business. We are all equal. And that's how I look at it. It took me a while to realize that. I would be lying to you if I told you I never had an ego. I did. Oh, thank you, Heidi. She said, Sean, I see your light and you have a beautiful soul. Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. But we're all equal. We're all equal. We're all equal. And what's really cool about everybody being equal, you got Heidi who does synchronicities, okay, and you got Joni who reads books, and then there's that girl who does psychic singing. She sings. She sang on my Christmas show last night. And then there's Kevin who does tarot. There's Cindy that believes in the Bigfoot. And we're all equal here. And that's the way it should be. Everybody needs to be equal. I mean, sure, you see the people on TV. Oh, they got their head up their asses. Oh, I'm waiting for, I'll have you a few stories. Thank you, Joni. I appreciate that. But I'm telling you, you see the people at the TV shows. I'm going to tell you something. Okay? I mean, my thing, I was on a couple shows. I was on a couple shows. And what the crazy thing about it is, I was told by the producer what to say. I was told by the producer where to go. Did I get paid by it? Yeah. Did I get paid? No. Yeah, I got paid. But it wasn't what I felt. It's nothing, it's something that I didn't see or feel. It was them telling me what to do. And then people get so damn excited about, ooh, look what we caught, look what we caught. I can freaking guarantee it, everybody, that they had to shoot 2 or 3 times, not just one night. And then they had to, if they didn't get to lie. Oh, yeah. Yeah, to lie. I felt so bad, Johnny, when that happened. And it's all the producers. It's all one big lie. And I kind of felt like, oh, how can I say this? I felt like I was just a puppet. I was just a puppet. I got paid, but I was a puppet. But it opened my eyes. It opened my eyes to see what the TV ghost shows were all about. It's all about Los Angeles, and it's all about the producers. Now, I don't know what the producers of the other shows do. I have no say, I have no right, and I'm not going to dog them. I'm not going to criticize them. because I have no right to do that. But I can criticize the producer that did the one show that I was on. No, it wasn't my doubt. You weren't being true to yourself. That's right, Joni. I wasn't. I felt bad. Hey, Squatch man, good to see you. No, it was their show. It was their money. That's what they wanted. You know. And I felt, I felt used. Now everyone's probably saying in the back of your mind, but you got paid for it. Yeah, I got paid for it, but I didn't like what I had to do in order to get paid for it. No, I did not like it. And that's just it in a nutshell. You know, I used to watch Bobo and all them on the Bigfoot expeditions. I wouldn't go that far, Joni. Violated. I wouldn't go that far. I just felt sick to my stomach, is what I did. Because I was, to me, after they shot the scene or whatever, okay, I didn't feel violated. I just felt like I lied to everybody who watches the show. Hey, Jacques, you know, to me, I lied to the people who watch the show. That's how I felt. And I never did it again. Jacques, my day's okay. How about yours, buddy? It's a blessing. Today's a blessing. Now, like I said, I was watching the Bigfoot people, the shows, and what was the joke, Squatch? Okay. You're talking about the show. Yeah. I mean, watching these guys go out in the woods and whoop, 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 and taking a stick and pounding it on a tree, you know, and then they hear a little boop on the tree and they're, oh, check out that noise. Was that the Bigfoot? I couldn't watch it after that. And it was all because of the experience that I had back when I was on that TV show. Oh, Squatch Man says, yes, sir. Yeah. But if you want to be big, if you want to be popular, okay, write a freaking book. Then write another book. And then write another book. And when you have at least 3 books up there, then maybe the executive producers look at you and put you on TV. That's how you're going to become popular. And from what I know and from what I see, there's at least 2,000 people ahead of you. And out of those 2,000 people, I can guarantee it have the same stories as you do. You know, no matter how hard you pitch it, pitch the show or pitch your books for publishers and stuff. Joni said, I don't know, Squatch Man, you here? Joni has a question for you, Squatch. Aren't you supposed to keep quiet when you're hunting Bigfoot? Squatch Man, if you're in, can you answer that? I appreciate it. But yeah, write a book. And there's a dog in the back. But we are at the halfway 30-minute mark. Don't forget, everybody, this is a 2-hour show tonight. Okay, so I'm here until about 10 o'clock. So we're going to go take a couple minute break here. So if you have to go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, get something to drink, do what you got to do. I will see you back here in about 2 minutes. I was, hey, everybody, here I am. Okay, so I forgot to put myself up on the screen. But Joni, what Joni McKillick said that she's supposed to be quiet when you're hunting Bigfoot, and Squatchman says yes, totally silent. And so why hit trees with other trees? Get a response, and maybe it's somebody else out in the woods knowing that you're doing a Bigfoot investigation, or people know that you're there shooting a video hunting Bigfoot, and someone's hiding in the trees and hitting a tree with a wood knocking. Thank you, Heidi. What if I was supposed to tell you that I didn't believe in Bigfoot? Where I think Bigfoot's just a hoax? What would you think if I told you that? That is there somebody out there that's running around in a 7-foot monster in an outfit? And that, everybody, is what a skeptic would say. My hands are wet cleaning fish tanks. Mama needs. Oh, I know. How many more babies you got, Heidi? When I said that, I did not believe in Bigfoot, everyone knows I do. But a skeptic would say, no, you're wrong. They don't exist. It's all a figment of your imagination. Show me the proof. And a dear friend of mine, he got a picture of a Bigfoot. That's true, Squatch. Everyone has their opinion. So true. And it was a very good picture of a Bigfoot face. And people were dogging him about it. Oh, excuse me, skeptics. skeptics. You know, the ones that, you know, watch YouTube shit or TikToks, and they have nothing else better to do but sit behind a computer and mock everybody, saying that they don't exist. Gives them 15 minutes of fame. Well, that 15 minutes of fame that you told my friend that his picture wasn't real. That 15 minutes of fame really put a hurt into him. But see, they were so proud to get in this thing. And the picture was legit. But you sit behind your computer. Joni says, I would have to say believe what you want to believe, but the truth is out there if you do your own research. I will read that again, Joni, and that's the truth. Joni said, I would have to say believe what you want to believe, but the truth is out there if you do your own research. Squatchman says, I would love to take them out with me. The skeptics? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know, when I would go on investigations, I would take skeptics with me. People who wanted to prove that I was a nutcase, even though I am a nutcase sometimes, but they didn't believe it. And I took them out with my group. And I told them straight out. I said, listen, we're just going to let you investigate. You can come along. You can ask questions. And if you don't see anything, it's okay. Because I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. But I know face stays. Oh, hey, face. You know, and I would take them out. They didn't see anything with their eyes. But what they did feel, that's true, Squats. Most people can't handle the truth. But what happened to these skeptics that I took out, they had personal experiences. One felt her hair being tugged with nobody around her. Another guy felt somebody pushing him, literally pushed him. And he was like mad. Oh my God, he was mad. You know, he was mad. But when he found out that nobody was around him when he got pushed, and then another girl got scratched in the back. But she did a dumbass thing, and she called out the ghost. Called him out. Called him every name in the book. And the ghost that she was calling out, right? The ghost she was calling out wasn't a good ghost. He was a bad ghost. He wasn't demonic. Okay. He was just a bad ghost. And she got scratched pretty good. Hey, Sherry. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing good too. Looking forward to Wednesday night at, 7 o'clock. We got Rex, my boy Rex. Hudson and Rex. That's a show in Canada that I like to watch. The German Shepherd is like totally awesome. What the hell? The German Shepherd is like totally freaking honest. And he like, diffuses bombs. He gets the keys out of the glove compartments. Oh, it's a good show. Anybody? Hey, Tony. Oh my gosh, Tony, how are you, sir? Good to see you. And you just got to watch Hudson and Rex. That's all I can say. Whatever station in, you'll love it. Johnny says those negative people are keyboard warriors. They don't have the interest in me. Yeah, and that is totally true. So what do we do about it, Johnny? Those keyboard warriors are really putting a damper into other people who are really into and believing the field that they are in. Do we just keep the pictures to ourselves? Do we keep the evidence to ourselves? Do we keep our investigations to ourselves? It got to the point where a lot of people were doing that, just keeping it all to themselves. I did it. I did it for a very, very long time. When I started, I used to post everything I caught, and I got ridiculed to no end. Ridiculed. And then I just learned to just say, you know what, the hell with y'all. And the first question out of my mouth, and I've said this to people, I said, were you there with me when this happened? Were you there when this audio got taken? Were you there when the video was taken? I don't think they're bots there, Joni. Mm-mm. They could be. They could be bots. I don't know, but some of them aren't bots. I know that. So we go out, we spend all this money, we travel everywhere, stay up to 2, 3, 4 in the morning, trying to find any type of evidence that we can. And usually 6 out of 10 times we don't. And then people look at you like you're nuts. Yeah, but it's a healthy nut cases. But it's what we enjoy to do. That's what the Bigfoot community enjoys to do. You have no right at all to knock any one of us. Just imagine this. Just imagine this. Okay? Just imagine this. So we got this warrior that sits behind a computer and he plays Call of Duty. Okay? That computer game, Call of Duty. And he's out there and he's kicking butt. He's killing everybody and blah, blah, blah. And he's just like high on his horse. And then he shows it and tells the world about it. And you know what? People look at him and say, no, you're wrong. I don't believe you. I think you're full of shit. Joni says, ignore those people or you can make your group private. Yes, that's true. And there's a lot of groups that did make their groups private. But they don't know to be ridiculed. They don't know what it's like to feel that people don't believe what they do. And then they feel bad because they feel what we feel. Or maybe they had this outstanding calculator that calculated. Now these are scenarios. They're scenarios. But had the best calculator in the world and he was so proud of it, blah, blah, blah. Talking it to the world, showing pictures, going on YouTube, talking about this freaking calculator. And people look at him and say to him, okay, I got a calculator. It works. It does exactly what you do. then he would know what it felt like, how he does it, how he did what he did to the Bigfoot paranormal communities. But Johnny, let me get back to you. You know what? I'm glad you said that. Ignore those people, or you could make your group private. Johnny, that's great. But let me turn around and ask you this. Would you want to make it private to hide and run away from people because you just don't want to get upset anymore, or people knocking you? Or do you just want to keep doing it because you know what you got out there is good? That's what I did. Never made my shit private. Never. Because I was proud when I went out and I got something. But what I did with it was, okay, I released the pictures to people I know that would not ridicule me, that would actually take a look at the picture, would take a look at the video, and give me their what they think, what they see, their explanations of the video and the audio in the video. They would tell me, and you know what? It would be constructive criticism. It would not be this, oh, you're full of shit. That don't exist. That does not exist. You're wrong. You CGI'd it. Joni says, keep doing it, but I don't want to deal with their bullshit. And I understand that, Joni. Okay. But like I just said, my dear, and Joni's a dear friend of mine. But what I mean is, Joni, only share to people who you know that would never dog you or dish you and give you constructive criticism. There's about 12 people I do that to. And it was all constructive. It wasn't like, nah, you're full of shit, Sean. But this is what I see in the picture. And another person will say, well, I see this, but I also see that too. To where eventually, a lot of people saw a lot of different things in the video, in the pictures, and in the audio. Well, not the audio as much, but I have something to say about the audio. Okay. People would go out and they would play with EVPs. Okay. And they're like, oh, what I picked up. I hear this little voice. I hear a word. Sounded like from a girl. And they were all excited. And a lot of people didn't like me about this. But the majority of those EVPs that I heard, hey, Robert, the bunch of those EVPs that I heard, they did it on, they made that word through Audacity. It's a program for audio stuff where they manipulated the audio. And some guy proved it to me one day. He took an audio of, it was in October and it was really windy and all these leaves are moving everywhere, and he took audio from just the leaves moving. Okay, with the leaves moving. We brought it up to his computer and he ran it through Audacity, and I shit you not, everybody, he made a sentence out of those leaves rustling. Joni says, people put a lot of work into what they do, and I appreciate that. And we appreciate you too, Joni. And we do. But back to the audio, he made this one sentence out of a bunch of leaves rustling. The only EVP that I would accept from anybody, would have to be the original EVP. And that's how I am. And by listening to many EVPs, okay, you know if they were, spliced up and diced up. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that with the audio because they want to feel something. Now, I will tell you this one story happened on an investigation, and this is true. So we're out in Monroeville. I get a phone call from a guy, and he said, "Is there any way you can come out to my house? I have something for you to hear." And I said, "Sure, I'll go out." And I brought, my ex-girlfriend at the time. We went out there. And so we're sitting, and he plays this recording that came from his cell phone. The backstory to this was that his wife was working. She's a nurse. And he was heading to work. And as he got, through the gate from his house to get on the road, his cell phone rang. It was coming from the house. It's like totally blew his dude away. So he gets into work, goes into his office, and plays the voicemail. And as he when he listens to the voicemail, he said he just turned white. He turned white. And I heard this. And so did my ex-girlfriend hear this message. And it said, "Kill the nurse." This message said, "Kill the nurse," in an old man's voice. And he just creeped out. And you know why? Because his wife was the nurse. This ghost did not like his wife. And so we did a walkthrough. And at the end of the walkthrough, the guy, "Hey, Mariah." "Okay, and heard a little bit about what you were saying before. In my humble opinion, people who are bothered by other people's hobbies or work enough to go out of their way to..." True. So true. Thank you, Mariah. Give the little dude a hug for me, will you? Appreciate it. But, and so we went out there and we did a walkthrough. And so at the end, I'm talking to the guy. We were setting up the day for our group to come out. And then my ex-girlfriend gets out of the car and she's screaming, "Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this." Thank you, Mariah. "Listen to this." And she played it back, the EVP. She goes, "How old are you?" And you couldn't clearly hear the voice say, 98. And the guy, our client, who we did this walkthrough with, okay, his face turned white again. And he said, quote unquote, That's my father. He died when he was 98, and he died in the house. And he never did like my wife. Oh, damn fun. And that, and it kind of blew us away. But the dad being, not hearing his dad's voice on the EVP, 98. So we went and did the investigation. And on the second floor, they had a cross hanging on the wall. Okay, they had a cross on the wall. And the nail was like this. Okay, it was like slanted in like that. So when you put the cross on, it wouldn't fall off. As God is my witness, we were walking up the steps and we literally saw the cross fall from the wall. Yes, true. That's definitely true. Blew me away. But eventually what happened, we took care of the situation. Everything got back to normal again. But I remember the walkthrough, I forgot this part. Okay. But the wife came home while me and my ex-girlfriend were there when we did the walkthrough. And she was holding a glass of wine. And as God is my witness, she's holding this wine, right? And it got smacked out of her hands. And it landed and it broke glass everywhere. What the reason why his father did not like her, I don't know. Didn't want to know. But that is like one of the best investigations we've been on. And do you know, I think I told the story before on here. I'm not sure if I did. But finally, I am comfortable enough to say this story to you. And I have many more stories to say. But I'm allowed to keep them. I'm allowed to keep them private. I want to keep them private until I know it's the right time to bring them out. And tonight was a good time to bring that one out. And Johnny, think about it, right? What if I did bring that out? Blasted it all over YouTube, Facebook. I would have gotten destroyed. Thank you, Sherry. She loves it. Yes, she loves the stories. Cool. But I had a little help with my angels and with my animal totems. My own story, that could be another show. Maybe one day I'll do it on a Tuesday night when it's only an hour. I'll tell you how I used to get rid of the ghost. But before we go into the second break, I just do want to mention this one thing, and then we can go into a 2-minute break, okay? A lot of people say go and sage your house or put holy water on the windowsills or bless your house with holy water. You can do that, yes. But it's like a Band-Aid. Would I clear the space then? Oh no. Come in for the jugular, Sherry. No. Don't, because what happens when you throw holy water or sage your house? They'll leave. But it's only a Band-Aid. Because once all that energy from the water and from the sage dissipates, they will come back. What about salt? Salt's the best thing in the world. sea salt, pure sea salt. Put on your windowsills, but you have to make sure that the house is cleared out with nothing in the house, and then put your salt in. Because if you put your salt down, okay, you put the salt down in front of the windows and doors, you're actually holding that spirit or that ghost inside your house. So you have to totally clear your house out before you put the salt on it. But windows, doors, around the house. I know people who actually put salt around their house. But the salt's the best. Sherry says, if you do the investigation, would you help the people clear the spirits? Oh yeah, no, I did the clearing. The people were happy, but let me tell you something about that really quick, Sherry. Okay, later on is in the years like 2018, 2019, when people were finally accepting the fact that ghosts exist. And the majority of the people that in the houses that we investigated, okay, they wanted to keep their ghosts. They didn't want to get rid of them. Now, we're going to go back. We're going to go and take another 2-minute break. We're at the hour mark, okay? And when I come back, then we can go on with what I want to say. So if you have to go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, get a Coke, and a smile, do what you got to do. I'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Let's see. We'll play this one.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of Native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans for allowing me to give you two shows a week, Sunday nights from 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. Eastern, and on Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Eastern. And so they see, oh, hey, Buck, good to see you. Thank you, Heidi. And so Sherry says that she has some, but the house feels good. Okay. It's just people that have lived there before, and that's cool as heck. You know, and Buck, hello, and Kevin says, anyone ever cast a spell to answer a past life question? I fell asleep with candles and incense burning, got my answer. I asked my guides to assist and thanked for the answer. Cleaned up working to close. Cool. But thank you for that, Sherry. I mean, Kevin. Now, Sherry, you know, it's crazy as we continue. The reason why a lot of people later on in the years, okay, kept their spirits that were in the house is because they didn't mind living with them. And it was not just one. And it was just not one, it was two or three of them. So you have to realize the reason why we did houses, so we could help the people, our clients, to understand why the spirits were there. And what was really pretty screwed up was that they had other groups go in before our group and even made it worse. So we were like the cleanup group, you know, to come in and take care of business. But people just accepted the facts that the spirits are there. But I did one thing. I tried it like 3 or 4 times, and it so worked out. Kind of surprised me too. Me and a group member would go to the house and do a walkthrough, and just bring the K2 meter with us. Sit in the dining room and talking to them, and the K2 would, you know, respond to the questions we were asking. And I remember the first time I thought about this, I was like, you know what? Why don't we make a deal with the ghosts? Make a deal with them. And you're probably saying, Sean, how in the hell can you make a deal with a ghost? How can you do it? Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it. We sat there, okay, because, you know, the ghosts would like at night would like make pots and pans fall off the walls, would make a lot of noise, and these people were trying to sleep and they couldn't sleep. And then they would hide their keys, all that kind of good shit. But we made a deal with the ghost. What we would do was, okay, the ghost could have the run of the house up to 10 o'clock, 8 p.m. Do whatever in the hell they wanted to do without harming anybody. No one got hurt. But after 10 o'clock p.m., up until 7 o'clock a.m., they weren't supposed to make no noises. They were supposed to go somewhere else. And do you know those deals worked? Because once a month I would call the people that we did this deal with, that they did a deal with the spirits. And the deal worked. The ghosts didn't mind, you know, and they were really respectful because at 10 o'clock they quit haunting the place. And this, we did it to 3 or 4 different houses, and it worked. Sherry said that, you know, her house feels good. And, you know, the people that lived there before, if you could actually have a personal relationship with a ghost, and you can have a personal relationship with a ghost or spirit, if you respect them, in return, they're going to respect you. But the big thing is, this is the big thing you need to know, okay, is that you have to, not call them out, not scream at them, not yell at them, or treat them like crap. If you treat them like a human being, like they once were, in return, they're going to treat you the same way. And that's why, those deals were good. Well, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of bad ghosts. I'm not saying demonic, and I blame TV and the movies for that one. They were just a bunch of old angry ghosts that did not like the people that were living in the house. Okay. Especially when they remodeled the house. Okay. Think about it, right? So Heidi's a spirit. Okay. And she's lived in this house. And she has wallpaper up with a bunch of guppies. Little fishes, a bunch of guppies. Okay. And this is just a scenario, guys. This is just a scenario. And so Heidi loved guppies. Okay, so she got wallpaper made out of guppies, put it in her guppy room. Well, I come in and I tear that wallpaper down. Okay. And I would not want to get on the bad side of Heidi if she ever got mad. Well, she's actually seeing what you're doing to her guppy wallpaper by tearing it down. She's going to be pissed. And she's going to cause a lot of shit in the house. And it's not because she wants to scare you. Seriously. It's not because she wants to scare you. And she don't want to hurt you. But she wants to aggravate you because you did something to her house that she does not like. And Heidi says, Kevin says, spooky under wallpaper can be anything written. True. And Heidi says, I've had it with these guppies. Oh my hell. I'm about to tear right out. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry that you're in tears. Seriously. But I'm just saying, you go in and you remodel a house and the spirit's living there, they're going to be pissed. And they're going to come after you. Not to hurt you, but to drive you crazy. Because you took down the wallpaper, or else you knocked off a wall. You knocked out a wall. They wanted that wall there, but no, you knocked it out, so they're going to be mad. And if anybody have ever been into that situation, you seriously need to sit down and talk to the ghost. You think what I'm saying is a bunch of bullshit. It's not bullshit. It's the truth. Because you have to remember that they were human one time. And they understand what you're saying. They do. They do understand. But you have to tell them that this isn't their house no more. It's your house now. Don't get ignorant with them. Kevin says best thing to do is communicate, set boundaries, and come to an agreement to coexist. So true, Kevin. I'm going to read that again. Kevin says best thing to do is communicate, set boundaries, and come to agreement to coexist. You see those bumper stickers where it says coexist and it got all the different religious symbols on there? Well, they actually should put like a ghost picture, along with that. Yeah, they should. Because if you communicate with the ghost, you're coexisting with it, and life would be great. It would be. Not too many problems. Not too many problems with them. But I know I got off the subject for a little bit, and you know me. Once I start talking, I don't know where it's going to take me. So I guess what I have said tonight so far meant to be said. I don't know. But back to the people who sit behind their computers. Like Scotsman says, spirits don't know time and space. Entrapment, maybe. Possibility, buddy. And I'm glad you brought that up too, Squatch. Spirits don't know time and space. There's no, and Scotch is right, because there is no time out there. There is no time at all in their world. And a lot of people have asked me many questions. Well, what do the ghosts do when they're out there? I don't know what they do. And all the answers that I was seeking to find out, I won't know until I become a spirit. Then I'll get my answers. You know, do I believe loved ones hang around? I sure do. I sure do. Do I believe that they hang around because there's a lot of unfinished business they want to take care of? Yep. Is it because their loved ones are so sad that they're not around? And do I believe that if the spirit would move on before his significant other would be okay with him passing? And I do believe that. And also you have to remember too, okay, I forgot what I was going to say. I was looking at Kevin's thing. He said, I did that Ouija spirit. We woke up after it tossed the lamp and broke it. We talked and agreed to coexist. It was his land in ancient time. Now he's one of my protective to my home guys. That's sweet. And that's how it works, Kev. That's how it works. Oh, and I remember. And there's a lot of spirits, especially soldiers, that don't even know they're dead when they get killed in battle. And the best place to look for spirits like that is in Gettysburg, Antietam, any Civil War battle, Vietnam, anywhere there was a war. Even when there wasn't a war and someone getting killed on the streets. See, you have to realize, right? This is what you got to realize, is that whenever someone's pointing a gun at you, you know you're going to die. I shouldn't have said gun, sorry, a pew pew at you, or an instrument that can hurt you. And you know you're going to pass away. Every energy in your body, just like solid, builds together. It's one solid energy inside you. And when the time comes that it happens, hopefully next year, Squatch, I'm retiring in 10 months. So I'm going to get there. But with that solid energy there, and all of a sudden, you pass away. That energy is so strong, it's just going to stay there. And it's not going to move. Kevin says, oh, wow, that can go on for a time. Don't know they were dead. Yes. Need to be told to cross over, I would think. A lot of them don't want to cross over because, honestly, especially up in Gettysburg, those young boys up there that got killed, dude, they believe that the war's still going on. That's the truth. That's the truth. But all them young boys up there that got killed, all their energies were solid because they knew that was going to happen to them, and that all the fear, all the anger, all the anxiety, all that emotions just pulled up into one solid freaking energy ball, and you fall over and pass. It's staying there. It's not going nowhere. They are. It is a time loop. They call that a residual hauntings. Squatchman says, "What about the bad entities that was mad to start with?" What about the bad entities that was mad to start with? They're probably going through a loophole too, boy. Seriously, Scott. They're probably going through loops. It's the only way I look at it. Like I said, my friend, I won't know these answers until I go out there. They had a mission. That's true. They had a mission. But that's the whole deal with spirits hanging around. And what I'm trying to get out of this segment of the show is that you can actually sit down and talk to the spirits. Okay? You can talk to them. And you can reason with them. And I can guarantee it, they will listen. But before you do something like that, okay, make sure there's somebody there that could help you out with that. Because what I mean by that is, if you all start talking to a spirit or a ghost, whatever, and you think you're talking to the ghost that is there, but them really bad ghosts can manipulate the other ghosts who you're talking to. So you're thinking you're talking to Mary, and Ghost Joe is behind you, behind Mary, and then Ghost Joe is using Mary's voice. It happens. So before you sit down, if you seriously want to make a deal with the ghost or spirit, get somebody there to help you. Do it. Don't do it on your own, because you're going to need help. Joni says, oh, wow, I had to tell my dad that he died. My dad kept coming into my dreams telling that he didn't like my mom having a companion. Oh, wow. Kevin agrees, Sean, someone who can read the signs of manipulating spirits. Yes. And it's true, Kevin. Thank you for sharing that, Joni. Joni just wrote, oh, wow, I had to tell my dad he died. My dad kept coming into my dreams, telling that he didn't like my mom having a companion. And spirits do come in dreams. Then Kevin said, agree, Sean, someone who can read the signs of a manipulating spirits, yes. You need help when you need to talk to them. And it's okay. And you will be surprised, okay? You will be surprised once you make that deal or make that contract with the spirit that's in your house. how quiet things will be. And they won't be misplacing your keys. Now, I'll tell you another thing, okay, especially when it comes to little babies, okay? And this happened a lot of times, a lot of investigations, especially with young couples who had babies, who had baby. So everybody usually gets a baby monitor with video and audio in it, and they see the baby rolling around, smiling, giggling, and doing all this stuff, standing in their crib and looking into a corner. Well, the parents are getting mad at this or scared because they don't know who the baby's talking to. And so what happens is the parents, they call my group. They call me in my group. And we go over there. Okay. We go over there. And they tell me the story. And usually it's like the great grandmas or the great great grandmas, that the baby's talking to. Because the baby ain't no way getting hurt. Okay, no way is he being hurt. He's just happy to see these people. And so after we figured out what was happening, why the baby was standing in the crib, looking up into the ceiling or into the corner. And then the first thing out of my mouth was, I said all the time, I said, are you two fighting? And usually I get a yes, we are fighting. Why would you want to know if we were fighting? And I said, well, when you guys fight, where's the baby? Oh, we put her in the crib. And then we fight. And I said, that's your whole freaking problem right there. I am no marriage counselor. I can't tell you what to freaking do. But if you're worried because the baby is looking in the corner, 9 out of 10 times it's your great great grandmas or your grandma or your great grandma playing with the baby to make sure that baby is safe. Well, you two act like jackasses, and it pisses the grandmother off or the great grandma off because you're not paying attention to your kid, because you're fighting between the both of y'all. And for some reason, that would just come out of my mouth. And I didn't deliberately mean to say that. It just came out of my mouth. And that was the reason. Some couples, they started to, watch their baby not fight. And they ended up in good marriages. Not all, but the majority of them did. And the ones that worked out, after they were fixing up their relationship, their marriage, the baby wasn't standing on the crib anymore or standing in the corner, looking up at the corner on the crib. He wasn't doing that no more. The baby was falling asleep. So you might be in your 30s, you might be in your 40s, you might have young children with you. But you have to remember, your grandmother and your great grandmother and your great 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 grandma are hanging around your kids. And if you hurt the babies, you're in trouble. Because being in trouble with your grandmas and great grandmas, no, that ain't right. And they will hurt, not hurt you, but drive you insane. Or call people like me to come over and tell them. Kevin says, understand one that has no intentions of being reasoned with. Okay. Agree, Sean. The baby will let you know if it's being haunted by someone else. If it is calm, etc., most likely a protected family member. I remember one time we did a house and they were sorry, but they were Italians. And I'm not knocking Italians, but that they were pulled and they fought. Oh my God, they fought when we were there. And it was insane. It was all about the baby. And they had great grandmas from both sides of the family that were watching that baby, and they were just getting pissed at these people. Okay. Thanks, Kev. But when it comes to Italian and Slovakian great grandmas watching out for babies, they're there. Don't ever think they're not, but they are there. And they are watching the babies, protecting the babies. I just had to bring that out. I don't know why I said that, but it just had to come out like that, you know. Well, I'm going to take one more break, then we'll come back, finish up, and I'll pull a couple cards for everybody. Okay, so I'll see you back in a couple of minutes. Smoke a cigarette, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, and I'll see you back in 2 minutes. There you go here.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Start this conversation. We got no relation.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back to the final 30 minutes or 20 minutes or how long it takes um, of the show. Kevin said that I got the spider, the beaver, and the starfish. That's pretty neat. Starfish. I never heard of the starfish animal. Um, and yes, Shark Week is over with, so I don't have to sing do 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 baby shark. Welcome back. Oh, thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Kevin. But I'm going to finish up by saying that um, at the beginning of the show when we started, if you can just show respect. Hey, Tara. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Congratulations. Tara got married. Yes. Congratulations, my friend. Ah, I'm happy for you. I'm happy you got married. I hope everything works out great for you, buddy. Everybody congratulate Tara for getting married. She did. I'm glad. Yeah, you can see the smile on her face for that. But everybody, please, just respect everybody and what they believe in and what they do and what they want to do. And don't knock them. Just accept the fact that they enjoy hunting the paranormal and they like enjoying Bigfooting and they like to share. And they like to share, their stuff. Hey, Janet, good to see you. Wow. Me and Janet worked at the post office a long, 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 long time ago. Long time ago. And her husband Randy was in the chat room here too. And just respect people for what they believe in and what they do. And don't knock them. Because it really pisses me off when you hurt other people's feelings. It really does. Especially for someone who is so into their field. Okay. And there's a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort and money into the field that they are in. And in one sentence, destroy them. It's not right. We should all get together. We should all merge together and be one big happy family. And it's not so much the paranormals and the Bigfoots. It's also, the witch community, the Wiccan community, all the communities out there that are different from your basic. I like that, Kevin. If it doesn't harm you, mind your business. True. Then Kevin said, doesn't harm you, mind your own business. But the people who are in different communities that don't pertain to the so-called what we need to be a community, respect them. Accept them. Because you just don't know. You don't know, okay, that one day you might need that Wiccan person. You might need that witch. You might need that paranormal investigator. You might need that Bigfoot investigators. And when they find out that you're not respecting them, I don't think they would come and help you. So choose wisely. That's all I can say. And if that noise you hear, it's my stomach growling. Okay. But tonight was a good show. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed everybody's comments that were in the chat room. And I hope everybody in the 160 different countries that we do broadcast in got something out of the show tonight. If you have any complaints, wishes, or whatever you want to write, just my just go to my Facebook page and send me a message and tell me, what you want to say. You might need that dumb manager. Huh? Ah, thank you, Heidi. It was a great chit chat. It was. Any bitches, gripes, or complaint, you can always write Michelle DeRoche here at UPRN Talk Radio. And if you have a problem with my show, or you have a problem with me, that's the lady you need to contact. And she's a good station manager. She's a good friend of mine, and she's a good station manager. But if I did something wrong that you did not like, she will definitely tell me about it. So that will be Michelle DeRoche at UPRN Talk Radio. I'm glad somebody does. Kevin says we love Sean. That's all I have to say. Thank you, sir. Truly appreciate it. Heidi says, oh my hell, I said that in my head because Joe always says that. Yeah, then I guess great minds think alike because that's how I said. The Kara here? Holy crap, where in the hell Kara at? Where in the hell you been, girl? Where you at? Holy crap. She says, oh man, great show tonight, Sean. I've been listening but doing other things. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So now we got about 10 minutes left, 9 minutes. So I'm going to pull some cards and see where we go for this. So everybody knows that I do pull animal medicine cards, and I give a little reading and see where it goes. Love Michelle. She's a goddess. She is. Yeah, a goddess. I wonder what kind of goddess she would be. Never really thought of it. I'm going to have to talk to Joe about that Friday or Saturday. Okay? And we'll see, what we can come up with. But I'm shuffling the cards, and what everybody who is new to the channel, okay, what I do is I pull 3 or 4 cards, and I just give a little reading. I don't use the definitions. I just pull it out. Johnny says, we love Sean. I'm here every Sunday and Tuesday night. I know you are. Oh, you told her? The Queen of Chairs. Huh. She's a good girl. So I'm shuffling and I'm cutting the deck. And if this reading is for you, I hope it helps out. If not, maybe the next time I do a reading. But these are the cards I'm pulling. Okay, the first one is Ant. The Ant card. Okay. The Ant. And with the Ant, it's constantly moving. You're constantly moving, and but you're not following the path at what you were set on. Because if you look at the Ant, he's just like going moseying around in other different ways, and he's trying to find some food to eat or build a nest, whatever. So you're kind of like on a crazy way, right now. You're crazy. You're going either which way that you want to go with being the Ant. But the big thing I love about the Ant card is, and I need you all to understand this, okay, everybody, whoever this reading's for, you have to trust. The Ant has a lot of trust. You have to have trust, trust the process. Whatever's happening in your life right now at this very moment, you have to trust the process. Because with the Ant, if you don't trust it and you go out on your own, you're going to go down different avenues. And it's going to be like, okay, we're all my Ant buddies and you're on your own, because the reason why you're on, right, is because you don't trust the process, where the other ants, where everybody else who surrounds you is trusting the process. They keep moving and marching on. But not you. You want to do it your own way, but you really can't. You can't do it on your own. You need a family. You need a group of all kinds of other ants. Teamwork. Thank you, Heidi. You need teamwork. So that's where everybody's at. So we come in with the dragonfly, okay? Um, and the dragonfly, they're mean, okay? They're mean, all right? They don't take no shit. And they're built around water. And they fly around your head. And I looked up the meaning behind, because I had this one dragonfly follow me forever one day. And again, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong, but also with the dragonfly, yes, an insect thing, that'd be crazy. That's interesting. Hattie says that he's been seeing a lot of them in the last couple of days. Only tattoo I have too. But this, to me, when I look at them, it's just like, especially when they buzz around your head, they're talking to you. They're like, either A, getting the word into your brain to trust the process on building whatever you're building. And they keep nagging you by just like, shh, 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 like little hummingbirds. They go, yee, doop, yee, doop. You know what I mean? But the dragonfly is there to help you guide along the path with you as the ant. And please remember, you got to trust the process on it. Then we pull the badger. So you see how this is coming together now. Okay. So you're fighting. You're in a corner, and that badger is kicking, is like fighting. You're the ant, you're moving on, trusting the process, but you don't want to trust the process. The dragonfly is there trying to keep you going on the path, of the process. But you, being the badger who you are, you're fighting it. You want to do it your own way, but it's not going to work. You're going to need the help. You're going to need the help. But you want to be that badger, and you want to fight everybody. You want to eat all the insects and shit like that. It's not going to work, because as long as you're the badger, okay, as long as you're the badger, and you're putting up a fight, you ain't going nowhere. You are not going nowhere at all, and that's not good. That is not good at all. And then I'll pull one more, and then you got the owl. Okay, maybe I'll pull one more. And why the owl comes into this picture is that you're probably finally realizing something is very wise about this. You're looking at that owl, and everybody knows that the owls are wise, and their heads are like 360. Ah, thank you, Heidi. And so maybe the owl, you're looking at the owl, and you're like, maybe I should trust this process. Maybe I should trust it and go on with it. That the owl thinks I can do it, then I must do it. And then what Kevin says, my mate and I saw a tiny human-like arms and legs fly by us, so wings size of a dragonfly. I was like, did that have arms and legs like a fairy? He said, yep. And yes, fairies exist. Hoo-hoo. Yeah, this ancient flying cat. I don't know. So I'll draw one more. And when I see the blue heron in this reading, I think that's the first time I pulled that one up. But what I see in the blue heron is a very prehistoric animal, okay, which has a lot of, I want to say, pull. So as long as, and it's like, and the blue heron is just like looking over you. He's like, okay, boy or girl, you need to follow that path. You need to trust your process. and trust what you're building to get where you need to be. You don't have to fight it with the badger. Just listen to the owl, because the owl's a wise one. And the blue heron, I could just see it now, just standing there. Kevin said chills, Sean. Intense breathing. I love it. Thank you, Kevin. But the blue heron is just saying, okay, just follow, just trust your process. Trust what you're building. And don't go off path. And if you have a problem with it, don't attack like the badger. Just look at the owl for wisdom. And then continue doing it. Continue walking, trusting that process. Because if you don't, you got that blue heron in, and he's going to come down and he's going to eat you up. So that's today's reading, and I hope somebody got something out of that reading. If you didn't get anything out of that reading and one of those cards are pulled for you, just go and Google, we'll say the blue heron, and see, what the blue heron means in animal medicine. We got wise and ancient, see ancient wisdom. Wow. So we got wise in ancient, so ancient wisdom now. True. Again, everybody, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Everybody trust your process, and trust what you're building for your future, for you right now. And don't get mad about it. Look to the owl, because the owl will give you the answer what you seek. Heidi says, thank you, Sean. Very insightful. Very much hearts to all. Love to all. So children, if you can, please go to your parents. Give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children. Give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents, and if you have no children, find someone, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And please remember, protect the children. On a note, everybody, have a good Sunday night, and I will see you Tuesday night. Sweet dreams.